We get asked all the time, what exactly does days on market mean? And actually, here in the Denver, Colorado metro with RE Colorado, they've actually changed it to days in MLS. Means the same thing. And basically, we have put together a little blog post, and we'll share that out in the link in this video so that you can read all about it. But just thought I'd check in with you and if you've got any confusion about it. But there's a couple of things. I mean, for sellers, the longer it sits on the market, it costs more in carrying costs with loans and taxes and utilities and things like that. So obviously, we want to price and stage and market a home as quickly as possible so that it sells as quickly as possible. For a buyer looking, there's a couple of different things that really days on market means and why it really matters to home buyers. So thought we'd just kind of walk through this. The analogy that we've chosen to use is kind of like, your favorite bread or pastry. You go in and, usually it gets consumed in 24 hours or less, in my case, working on that. And, but if the bread gets stale, it's less and less appealing, right? So the same sort of analogy can be applied to a home listed on the real estate market. So here's what it means and why it matters. And you can kind of go here and read through this. It's often abbreviated. You see it as DOM, and it's something that the National Association of Realtors has designated as the number of days the clock starts ticking when we put a house on the market. So it goes on the market today and it goes under contract. Today's Thursday. Goes under contract on Monday. So days on market, you've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you've got 4 days on market, right? So that's how it basically counts and works. And what goes into that factor. Days on market, we can actually search for homes based on days on market as a filter. So I've pulled up homes in Littleton, Colorado, for example, one of our key areas, an area that we actually have an office in. And these are homes that have been on the market in Littleton for more than 30 days. So we can filter for that. And the typically what it says is a days on market can be an indicator of how hot or cold, but the market's been hot for a long time, right, guys? How hot the market is. And also days on market, sometimes we may draw a conclusion or an inference that, gosh, if it's been on the market in this hot market, what's wrong with the house? And quite frankly, oftentimes there's nothing wrong with the house. Sometimes a seller is very closely tied, emotionally tied to a certain sale price. And so they're basically telling us as realtors, we don't care how long it sits on the market. We just want to get our price. And we believe that somewhere out there in the world, there is a buyer, there exists that one perfect buyer that will see how wonderful this house is, just like we did. Does that make sense? And so it may sit, but other buyers may look at that and go, gosh, boy, this has been out there a long time. It's starting to get stale. Must be something wrong with it. Something that we often do for our buyers is look at do that search like I just showed you, and typically what National Association of Realtors tells us, if a property in a hot market like this is on the market for basically a week to 10 days and has less than a dozen showings and has no offers on it, then the marketplace is telling that seller that their price is off. Typically, that's generally what National Association of Realtors, they've tracked this for decades, and that's basically what it means. So that's just kind of giving you some insight. But for a buyer, for you, if you are a home buyer and you're looking and your agent is not searching on days on market to look for maybe some opportunities, because let's say you only have X amount of dollars in your budget, like all of us, right? Um, that's one way to look for some potential opportunities. Doesn't necessarily mean there's something wrong with the house. It just may mean that it's a little bit overpriced, and maybe you've got an opportunity to step in, make an offer at your price, and see if the two parties can come together and on terms. And there may be other strategies, and we can talk about that if you'd like to. So, and certain markets, sometimes a house is taken off, it's off the market for a while, and it gets relisted, maybe with a lower price, maybe with a different agent. It does reset that counter, but what the MLS has done is it also has a second counter called cumulative days on market, CDOM, and that will give you an indication of the total time that that house has been on the market before it closed. Okay, so once it actually goes to a closing and closes successfully, that counter stops. Okay. So that's just a little bit of insight there. So we've got a lot of other resources on our blog, on our website. Like I said, I'll connect the link here so you can look. If you have further questions about this, if you've got some other thoughts or comments about it, but just wanted to share it because we do get asked this question all the time. What does days on market mean? And just thought we'd kind of walk you through it. So if you found this helpful, give us that thumbs up. Let us know that you like content like this. We'll continue to share it out for you. And if there's some other burning topic that you'd like to hear from us, let us know that too, and we'll get it out for you. So I'm Tim, Tim and Sandy Jones, Jones Team Colorado, eXp Realty. And like I say, we have a physical office space in the heart of Littleton. We also basically work throughout the entire Colorado Front Range area, helping home sellers and home buyers. So if you do have a question or a thought or anything like that that you'd care to share, all my contact information will be here at the bottom of the video, and you can certainly reach out to us. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.